My partner screamed, "You're psychotic who saves every text?" During our argument, I said, "Someone learning." When my lawyer used those saved texts showing her threats and manipulation in court, that psychotic preparation paid off in 6 figures and damages. 32 male. Guess I should start by saying I'm one of those people who never deletes anything. Screenshots, texts, emails. I keep it all. I started doing this after a nightmarish roommate situation in college, where I had no proof of our agreements and got completely screwed over. Since then, it's just been a habit. Cloud storage is cheap, organization is easy, and you truly never know when you might need to reference something. This story is about why that habit became the single most important thing I've ever done. It's about my ex, Sienna. We were together for 3 years, living together for the last year and a half in an apartment I mostly paid for. She ran a boutique marketing consultancy, and I'm a software developer. The thing about Sienna was her unique talent for twisting reality. It started small, with subtle gaslighting that made me question my own memory. You said you'd handle dinner tonight. When I was certain we had agreed it was her turn. I told you about this event weeks ago, when it was the first I'd ever heard of it. It was insidious, making me feel forgetful and unreliable. So, I started screenshotting our conversations. Not maliciously, but as a form of personal insurance, a way to keep my own sanity. When she'd text me plans, I'd screenshot it, all of it organized in folders on my cloud drive, sorted by month. About 6 months ago, things got weird. She started taking on bigger clients, becoming secretive about her work. There were late nights at the office and client meetings that fell off. Then, she asked me for a favor, to help her with some technical coding for a big client presentation. I'm decent with code, so I agreed. That's when my world tilted on its axis. As I looked through her presentation, I saw the client's name. It was my company's biggest competitor. And the presentation itself? It was a detailed strategy on how to poach our clients, complete with inside information about our proprietary pricing structures, contract terms, and client weaknesses. Information that only I had access to, information I had discussed with her in confidence, trusting her as my partner. I confronted her that night. "Sienna, what the hell is this?" I asked, showing her presentation on my laptop. Her face cycled through 5 different emotions in 2 seconds: shock, fear, anger, defiance. Then the mask of cold indifference slipped on. "Oh, please, Nate, don't be so dramatic," she said. "It's just business." "Just business? You're using confidential information from my job that you stole from me. Information you freely talk about at home," she sneered. "That's on you. That's corporate espionage, Sienna." That's when she lost it. A full-on screaming match erupted. She called me paranoid, controlling, and accused me of trying to sabotage her success. Then she said the magic words. "You know what? Fine. You want to be a little bitch about it? I will destroy you. I'll tell your company you gave me that information. Who do you think they'll believe? The successful girlfriend running a legitimate business, or the paranoid boyfriend who's clearly losing it?" I stayed completely calm. "Is that a threat, Sienna?" "It's a promise," she hissed. "I have texts where you discuss work stuff with me. I'll make it look however I want." That's when she noticed my phone in my hand, quietly pointed at her. Are you recording this?" Her voice was a mixture of disbelief and rage. "Just documenting," I said, "like always." Her face went nuclear. "You're psychotic," she screamed. "Who saves every conversation? Who screenshots every text? What kind of sick person documents their relationship?" I looked her dead in the eye and said quietly, "Someone who's learning. I think you should leave." She stormed out, but not before sending a barrage of the most vile, threatening texts imaginable. Threats about ruining my career, ensuring I never worked in tech again, and even claiming she had bruises from rough sex she could photograph to claim I was abusive. Every single text was saved, time-stamped. The next morning, I did 3 things. 1. I went straight to my company's legal department with my entire, perfectly organized file of evidence. 2. I hired the best litigation lawyer I could find. And 3. I changed the locks on my apartment. The most stressful month of my life was about to begin, but thank God for my psychotic habit of documentation. My company took the corporate espionage threat with extreme gravity. They launched a full investigation, put me on paid leave as per standard procedure, and assigned their own corporate lawyers to work alongside mine. Sienna, meanwhile, went on a full-scale offensive. She told our mutual friends I was an abusive, controlling monster who monitored her every move. A few of them believed her at first. One friend called me, crying, saying she couldn't believe I was that kind of guy. I sent him a single screenshot, the text where Sienna threatened to lie about abuse. The line went silent. "Oh my God," he whispered. Sienna then escalated, emailing my company's HR department, claiming I had voluntarily shared trade secrets with her. What she didn't know was that I use an app that backs up all my messages with their metadata intact. My lawyer, Ms. Delgado, a woman who was an absolute shark in a designer suit, was practically giddy. "Nathan," she said, scrolling through my meticulously organized folders, "this is the most comprehensive documentation I've ever seen from a client. You could teach a class on this." The smoking gun? A text chain from 2 months prior where Sienna had asked, "Hey, babe, that competitor of yours reached out about a contract. Should I take it? Might be weird, LOL." My response was unequivocal. That would definitely be a conflict of interest. Probably best to pass. Her reply? "Yeah, you're right. I'll decline." Except she didn't. She took the contract and hid it from me. That one exchange completely destroyed her defense. Then she tried to follow through on her abuse threat, going to the police with photos of bruises on her arms. One problem: I was at a work conference in another state when she claimed it happened. I had hotel receipts, flight records, and conference attendance logs. Even better, I had screenshotted her Instagram stories from that exact time, where she was posting about an intense kickboxing class. The police were not amused. The district attorney's office doesn't take kindly to false reports. Suddenly, she wasn't just facing my civil suit, she was facing criminal charges. During her deposition, confronted with a mountain of her own words, her lies crumbled. She broke down, screaming that she had seen the engagement ring I'd bought and couldn't be tied down to someone so mediocre, so she decided to cash in on our relationship before dumping me. The final court date was like a scene from a movie. Ms. Delgado laid out the case with surgical precision: defamation, corporate espionage, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and filing a false police report. She presented my organized folders of evidence, my psychotic documentation, which the judge himself praised for its clarity. The damages she requested were substantial: lost wages, therapy costs, legal fees, and punitive damages for malicious conduct, totaling $185,500. The judge deliberated for exactly 45 minutes and came back with a judgment in my favor for the full amount, plus my legal fees. Sienna actually fainted in the courtroom. When she came to, she was sobbing about how her life was ruined. The judge was unmoved. "Ms. Rivera," he said sternly, "you attempted to destroy this man's career and reputation for your own financial gain. These are the consequences of those choices." The aftermath was swift. She was blacklisted from the marketing industry. Last I heard, she'd moved back in with her parents and was working retail. My company? They were so impressed with my integrity and meticulous handling of the situation that they promoted me. I sold that engagement ring and used the money for a solo trip to Japan. I still screenshot everything. My new girlfriend knows all about it. Her response? Good. I do the same thing. Want to compare organizational systems. I think I found a keeper. Sienna called me psychotic, but my psychotic habits saved my career, my reputation, and won me a 6-figure judgment. To anyone out there, document everything. You're not paranoid, you're prepared. All I did was keep the receipts. And those receipts, it turns out, were worth over $185,000.